Six-time TSSAA state champion, Fulton Falcons, featuring the award-winning student-produced Fulton Countdown, the kickoff show, and the play-by-play broadcast featuring the voice of the Falcons, Russell Mays. Now, let's go live to the stadium for another exciting evening of Fulton football on WKCS Knoxville.
Just kind of cue that up to the fact that this matchup usually falls somewhere between week 1, week 3. You got a lot of rust getting knocked off curve, and they fall behind it sometimes. And Central's one, they've got a recipe they like to install every year, and they are able to reload.
And if you're Fulton, I think the hope is the poor play, maybe you got that out of your system in the second half of the Macon County game, because everything that could go wrong went wrong in the second half.
Yeah, and nothing, due to just lack of talent. There was just some mental miscues, some blown assignments, just some disciplinary stuff that hopefully Coach Long and company worked out in film on Monday and was able to input some solutions to their problems throughout the week. I think they can probably squirrel away most of those. Will be all right. Be interesting to see how this team responds to the adversity they faced last week.
Jack McKinney also McCulley joins us here on the broadcast. And, Jack, what do you think are some of the keys for the Falcons tonight in this game?
I think they got to control the clock here in the game. Don't let the Central have the ball for too long. Got to play good defense, get stops, and get it in the end zone as much as you can against the Central defense.
Well, and that's one thing Fulton tried to do last week against Macon County, was try to take their time calling in plays, run the clock as much as possible, and for a half it really worked.
Yeah, and Russell, just building off what he said there, I talked to Chris earlier, and he got our Dr. Don report. He said that they did some research throughout the week, and Dr. Don confirmed that 9 times out of 10, teams that score the most points usually win these games.
Thank you, Dr. Don, for his always astute football observations. As Fulton has won the toss, they will defer their option to the second half, so the Falcons will be kicking off. Fulton dressed in the home maroon jerseys, white numerals, black trim, wearing the black pants this evening with the maroon helmets, the F's on the side. Central white jerseys with black numerals, red centrals across the chest, black pants, and the black helmets with the interlocking CHSs on the side. It is a beautiful night for high school football, as we had kind of an unseasonable cold snap throughout this week. It's gotten a little warmer as the week's gone along, but certainly that's a break for both of these teams when you consider cramping.
Yeah, hopefully everybody stayed on top of the hydration. Even though the cool weather, it kind of makes you want to lay off of it, you still got to get that water in, and you don't want to see those bugaboos and cramps coming up in the second half like we saw last week.
Diego Galvez set to kick off for the Fulton Falcons. Back deep for the Bobcats, the always dangerous Javastin Badgett and Torrin McAfee. The 61st Battle of Broadway set to get underway here from Bob Blackfield, as here's the kick straight down the field. Badgett is going to catch it over his shoulder at the 8. Here's Badgett getting to the outside. He breaks a tackle at the 30, and he is down the far sideline, and he is gone. They've done it again. We were going to say Central has returned a kick for a touchdown against the Falcons. It feels like the last 3 years they've done it again, and I know the Fulton coaching staff worked on that hard this week, anticipating it, as that is going to be Javastin Badgett to the house for the touchdown. And already the clock only ran 1 second. The Bobcats are up 6-0 as he went down the far sideline and nobody could get there to make the tackle. They had him right where they wanted him. He just ran past.
Right there's just a product for Central controlling the rushing lanes right there.
Fulton worked on that all week, and they just did not execute. It was a good kick, but returned by Badgett for the touchdown. Going to be about 88 yards on the return. Central is trying to line up.
I believe that's going to be an equipment substitution,
as they have 3 linemen on each side of the kicker, almost to the sideline.
And looks like as well as a sideline warning for Central. It's early.
Not the way you wanted to start. To attempt the extra point, Owen Magaha. And here's the snap. The kick is up, and it is good. Timeout on the field, 11:56 remaining first quarter. Central 7, Fulton nothing. Back in 60 seconds as you listen to Fulton football on WKCS Radio.
911, what is your emergency?
My kid shot himself.
All right, where's the wound, sir?
911, what's your emergency?
Please help. My son shot his brother.
911, what is your emergency? 911, please state your emergency.
Every day, 8 kids and teens are unintentionally killed or injured by loaded and unlocked guns.
It wasn't locked.
Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and End Family Fire.
There are many sounds in your daily life. Ones that make you smile. Ones that help you relax. And there are some sounds that can help save lives. Wireless emergency alerts, now on many mobile devices, use a unique sound and vibration to bring you critical information about emergencies in your area. With updates from local sources you know and trust, you can be in the know wherever you are. Learn more at ready.gov/alerts. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Well, I don't think you could have dug yourself a deeper hole in 10 seconds.
Don't underestimate this team, Russell.
Bobcats 7, Fulton nothing on the return again. Central feels like the last 4 years in a row has returned to kickoff for a touchdown against Fulton. Here's Magaha to kick it, sky kick, the Macon County style kick, and it will be fair caught by Darion Bonner on the 23-yard line. Well, now the Fulton offense has got to find an answer. As Fulton last week, 142 yards of total offense. They got to find a way to get on track, and there will be a change at quarterback. Starting for the Falcons at quarterback will be number 17, Ethan Gideon, a sophomore. He came in late in the ball game and got some snaps, and I think this gives teams a chance not to focus on Womble, as Womble will be in at a running back. 2 receivers to the left. Gideon in the shotgun. First varsity snap. Handoff goes to Womble, and he will get it past the 25 up to the 27. And I think for Fulton, as Gideon's going to come out of the game, and Womble will now come in at quarterback, I think you'll probably see Gideon a little bit more at quarterback as the game goes along, just to give teams a little bit of a different look, because I think Fulton feels like everyone is just going to key in on Ray-John Womble.
Yeah, Russell, I meant to get a chance to talk to Adam earlier in the game, see what their plan was to kind of work him in, but seemed like they're just kind of pepper the snaps here and there before committing to a full-time start for the young man.
Well, actually, Gideon's back out there. He came all the way to the sideline. They sent him back out. Handoff comes to the near side. Here's Womble, makes a nice cut, 31, and steps out of bounds there, as it'll be a gain of about 4, and it'll be 3rd and a long 2 upcoming for the Falcons, as Womble runs to his right to the Fulton sideline. Can't punt it back right here. You've got to convert. Third down, 2 yards to go here for the Falcons. 11 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Central 7, Fulton nothing. If you tuned in late, you already missed it. Central house the opening kickoff. And Fulton's going to line up incorrectly here. No, it's going to be Central lined up offsides.
And that'll be a freebie.
Yeah, and that'll be a first down for the Falcons. So the Bobcats encroached, and it will be a 1st and 10 for the Falcons to the 36-yard line. Fulton kind of had a odd-looking form to the left side as Gideon quarterback. Handoff. Goes to Womble, makes a man miss. Tries to cut back, and as he cuts back to the center of the field, he cuts right into the teeth of the Central defense. It'll be a gain of a couple. As at the bottom of the pile for the Bobcats will be Seth Laws. As we said, this Central offense and defense very experienced. It's a mismatch in the experience department. The Central teams played a lot of football, and they typically play pretty well early in the year and then kind of taper off as the year goes along. 2 receivers to the left. Gideon in the shotgun. Womble the single running back. It'll be 2nd down and 9 after they mark it. Handoff. Womble's going to keep it right into the middle of the defense. A Central defender tried to jump on the pile and missed everything as Womble grinds his way for 2 yards to the 39-yard line, and it will be 3rd down and about 7 yards to go for the Falcons.
Yeah, got to get Gideon in the groove here early because Central's not going to give you a whole lot up the middle. At some point, aired out.
Well, and your young receivers out on the edge, you've got to get them a little bit of confidence and momentum. As we said, there's some talent out there, and we'll see what happens. This is a tough spot for a sophomore making his first start. Gideon in the shotgun. Over there on the far side, and the Falcons get a first down on the penalty, but it'll be forced to punt here with 8:45 the quarterback. As Zion Nelson makes the tackle for the Falcons as they threw it quick to the inside receiver. And the Bobcats lead the all-time series 38-20-2. But the 20 wins for Fulton is the third most by any opponent against Central. And this is Fulton's oldest rival that they still play, dating back to the first year Fulton opened, all the way back in 1951.
And even more interesting to think about, this series went a while without being played.
Yeah, it did. In the 90s and the 2000s, it went away. As it was just a Central's program was in a much better shape as Fulton than Fulton was. And Fulton just felt like they just could not compete with Central. First and goal, handoff goes to Harris, and he'll walk into the end zone for the touchdown. 7:46 remaining first quarter, and the Bobcats take a 13-0 lead here in this football game. And as we said, kind of the string of Fulton not playing well against Central continues on here, as this has been a horrific start for the men in maroon.
Hard to say the least, Russell.
To attempt the extra point will be Magaha, as they will bring the formation in. There's four people on each side. The center stands alone in the center of the field. They bring him in, and Fulton is going to jump before the snap, so it'll be a 5-yard penalty, half the distance. Most time, unless you are thinking about going for two, you'll just decline it, because it kind of, the kicker doesn't like having to go that shorter distance. They're used to kicking it with the ball placed down right on the 10.
Very much creatures of habit.
Yeah, there's not much advantage in a 1.5 yards on an extra point. So Central declined the penalty, and Magaha will try again, and this one is right down the middle. Bobcats 14, Fulton nothing. 7:44 remaining first quarter. Back in 60 seconds as you listen to Fulton football on WKCS Radio.
If an individual student athlete or team wins a high school state championship, it's an amazing thing. It's also just the icing on the cake. That's because young people in Tennessee who participate in education-based athletics are already winners. Studies show that win or lose, participation helps to impart skills they can use to enjoy greater success in other areas of their lives. School sports teach the benefits of teamwork, the value of self-motivation, and the importance of accountability. They also help to foster stronger work habits and higher levels of self-esteem. In other words, the true value of school sports can't be measured in terms of wins or losses. If an individual or team goes to state, it's an incredible accomplishment. But regardless of the outcome, today's student athletes are already destined to go far. School sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association and the Tennessee Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Central set to kick it away here on a beautiful night, but it's not been beautiful for the Falcons. Here's McGaha. Going to kick this one deep. It's going to be fielded by Jameel Smith on the 13. Smith runs to his left, trying to get to the outside. Central does a great job of corralling, and he breaks through and will get it up to about the 29-yard line before he's tripped up and dropped. McAfee with the tackle for the Bobcats, and Fulton will take over at the 29-yard line. Josh Nevius is our sideline reporter today, and Josh, I would have to think this Fulton sideline's a little bit shell-shocked right now.
Yeah, they are right now, Russell, but as the game started, the morale on this team was very high. Going down 14-0 early in the first quarter kind of took the wind out of their sail a little bit. Let's hope this Fulton coaching staff can keep the momentum up with this team.
Well, and the situation is you're just one play away in this situation from getting back into it.
A lot of football left to play.
Handoff goes to Womble. Gets it past the 35, spins his way up to the 37-yard line, and an 8-yard gain on first down for Rajon Womble, as the Falcons pretty much on the ground exclusively giving it to him. So we're seeing something quite different offensively with Gideon at quarterback and Womble running the ball.
All part of the plan, Russell. I don't know what it is, but
Gideon in the shotgun. Central, 4 men up on the line of scrimmage. They hand off. Womble has a big hole to the left, gets it up to the 40, and that's going to be enough for a first down. First down, Braden Starnes with the tackle. And the Falcons move the chains. And again, if Fulton can put a drive together here and score, you've got some confidence and you're back in the ball game.
yeah, in situations like this, guys, and both of you all can attest to this, that first one when you're down is kind of the hardest one. After that point, you realize, oh, hey, we can do this. It's just a matter of putting together a few good plays.
And the old saying is, when one team gets a big lead, the other team can say, you've got them right where you want them, overconfident.
We like to build that false confidence in them.
Fulton's got too many people on the field. They're going to run one off, and you'll get a flag for an illegal substitution. So illegal substitution goes on the penalty bingo. As it'll be a 5-yard penalty, and it'll move it back to the 35-yard line. Twins receivers to the left. Single receiver is Makai Holmes to the near side. Central stacks up the line of scrimmage. Gideon fakes the handoff, dumps it off. Pass is going to be complete to Lyons, and then he's crushed by Badgett at the 41.
That'll get 6 of them.
It'll
back.
get 6 yards, as cutting across the field was Lyons, as they've moved Noah kind of to an H-back instead of a receiver. And they just ran him out. And Badgett came up with the big hit. It'll make it 2nd down and 9 with 5:40 remaining in the first quarter. Fulton will have the ball at their own 41-yard line. 2 running backs on the shoulders of the quarterback, Gideon. Now Central stacks up 6 people up on the line of scrimmage. Bond, the running back, in motion. Gideon dumps it off. They set up a screen, and the lineman tried to catch it. They had a screen set up, and they had what they wanted.
It was there.
But the lineman
batted it.
That was kind of behind the play swatted the ball away instead of it being caught by Womble. Fulton quickly over the football. Pass incomplete, stops the clock with 5:20 remaining. 3rd down and 9. Gideon changes the play, talks to his lineman, now resets. 2 receivers set to go down the field for the Falcons. 9 seconds on the play clock. Short drop for Gideon. It'll be a hitch and go looking for Lyons, and it was cut off and the pass is overthrown and incomplete. So I think some miscommunication there as they were trying the hitch and go route to Lyons. Lyons ran the hitch. Gideon threw the go, and the pass is incomplete, and it'll be 4th and 9. Last punt for Womble was short, and it gave Central great field position. This one much better. That one's going to turn over. It's going to drive McAfee back to the 24. McAfee trying to get to the near sideline. Fulton holding on, and they brought him bound by his T-shirt. Holding on for dear life, Antonio Hutchinson at the 29-yard line. Got him by his undershirt. Thank goodness he was wearing one. And that is where the Falcons stop him, or that could have been a big return for the Bobcats. I think we're going to have a stoppage of play of some sort here with 4:24 remaining.
What's the deal here, Mr. Referee?
And now we're going to have somebody bust through the door and tell us how much time's on the clock. 4:41 instead of 4:24. Well, Central was very efficient on their first offensive drive. Took advantage of the short field and went down and scored. Here's Long in the shotgun. Pistol set. 2 receivers to the right. The running back is Jaden Harris. Long, short drop. Dumps it off to Harris on the right side. Makes the catch. Makes a move. 30, 35, up to the 38, and is tripped up, and that should be a first down. Long just flipped it to the back out of the backfield, and Harris is able to rumble for the Bobcat 1st and 10. Now Central's going to go with an empty set. 3 receivers on the left, 2 on the right, and no running backs. And a whistle from the sideline. And the officials will discuss as we've got a timeout asked for by Fulton. Second timeout of the game called by the Falcons. 3:57 remaining first quarter. Central 14, Fulton nothing. Back in 60 seconds as you listen to Fulton football on WKCS Radio.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
When I grow up, I want to be a glass countertop in a new home.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's best birthday present.
When I grow up, I want to be a football stadium.
When I grow up, I want to be a warm place on a cold day.
When I grow up, I want to be a fancy backsplash.
I want to be a bike that races around the country.
When I grow up,
I want to be a bench on a forest trail.
I want to be a rocket ship.
I want to be a skyscraper. I want to be
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. A public service advertisement brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
After the timeout by Fulton, Central will have it 1st and 10 at the 39. And Fulton might have jumped, but they threw the flag on Central's side of the field. So the Bobcats may have moved here. And it will be a legal procedure against the Bobcats. And that'll move it back 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 15 from the 34-yard line. Three receivers to the near side, 2 to the far side. Quarterback is Caden Long. Fulton, 3 men up on the line of the scrimmage as they shift. Long short up a screen to the center of the field. It's going to be caught by Badgett. and Badgett will be tripped up from the backside. It looked like he had running room, but Fulton was able to track him down from the backside. Still a nice gain up to the 44, and it will be second down and 5 for the Bobcats as they ran the screen to the left side to Badgett, and Zion Nelson was able to chase him down from the backside before he got loose.
Just another thing right there that only time can teach is if you're getting through way too easy along with everybody else, you probably need to pull back about 20%.
And we've said the names Badgett and McAfee for the last 3 years or so. They're outstanding athletes with a lot of speed. 10 seconds on the play clock. Second down 5. Badgett comes in motion. They fake the handoff to him, and Long keeps it. And he will be tripped up in Fulton territory down to the 42-yard line. Holmes with the tackle as they fake to Badgett running to the left, and Long went right and carried for the first down to the 42. Central back over the football. 2:50 remaining in the first quarter. Harris back in there as the running back. Fulton, 4 men up on the line of scrimmage. Now Harris adjusts to the left of the quarterback. Long looks to throw, steps up, is going to run with the football, has running room, and he'll be tripped up as he scampers there for almost a first down. It'll be a gain of 9 as he just pulled it down and ran with it, as making the tackle Walter Williams, who's been injured most of the preseason. Fulton felt really good about him possibly being a defensive end and doing some damage, and then he got hurt. So he just got cleared to come back for the Falcons this week. And we've talked about just all the injuries that Fulton's had to deal with in the early part of the season, making a difficult task even more in motion. Central's going to have 3 receivers to the left. Then they tried to send Starnes back in motion, and Coach Kevin Lane did not like what he saw from his offense, and he asked for a timeout. 1:48 remaining, first quarter. Central 14, Fulton nothing. We'll be back in 60 seconds as this is Fulton football on WKCS.
911, what is your emergency?
My kid shot himself.
All right, where's the wound, sir?
911, what's your emergency?
Please help. My son shot his brother.
911, what is your emergency? 911, please state your emergency.
Every day, 8 kids and teens are unintentionally killed or injured by loaded and unlocked guns.
It wasn't locked. It wasn't locked.
Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by the ad.
Offensive line got to get back there as fast as they can, try to get pressure on the quarterback.
They've not been able to get much pressure on the quarterback Long. Central's having a little bit difficult getting people lined up. They're going to go 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. They're going to throw it out to Johnston makes the catch, and here's Johnston racing down the far sideline and will be blasted out of bounds at the 6-yard line. And it will be first and goal for the Bobcats. They only needed 1. They got a lot more than that as they hit the senior Bryce Johnston down the far sideline. First and goal, Central.
Got to limit the yards after catch for Fulton.
Ball will be at the 6 4-yard line. Pistol set. Harris gets it, and he is going to be swarmed under. Good pursuit by the Falcons. As they're there for Fulton, A.J. Parrish and a host of others.
Only mark that for about a loss of one there.
There, Russell.
Go ahead, Josh.
That's a good pursuit right there.
I think Josh is standing right there in the dead zone.
Move. You got me? Oh.
Yeah, there we go. Second down and goal to go from the 9-yard line. New running back in for the Bobcats will be Johnson. As Long's going to throw, pass incomplete. Intended on a little crossing route for Badgett. It was overthrown and incomplete, and it will be 3rd and goal from the 9. And guys, in all the struggles that Fulton has had, it's been compounded by teams seem to always make that play, and Long just missed it that time.
Yeah, Russell, and Central's been one of the ones find one or two things that just consistently work, and every time they dial it up, it does numbers.
So 3rd and goal from the 8. Tight formation, 3 receivers on the left side. Throws to the back out of the backfield is Johnson, and he will be cut down as he gets it to the 4. Another great tackle by Antonio Hutchinson. Falcons, and it'll be 4th and goal.
Good defense. The Falcons here making a stand.
Here it looks like the Bobcats are willing to go for it.
Yeah, I think up 14-0 and Fulton struggling, you might as well. So the Bobcats are going to go for it here on 4th and goal from the 4-yard line. Very important play in this football game. Central will have 3 receivers to the far side, including McAfee, Badgett, and Johnston. As there's 10 seconds on the play clock, and I think Central's just going to run it down here and maybe take a timeout to talk about it, which I think is a wise move. No need to get in a hurry here, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Central will use their second timeout of the first half with 18.3 seconds left, facing a 4th and goal from the 4-yard line. I think no matter what, they're probably going for it here.
Yeah, I don't see why you don't. You're on like the 4-yard line. The Falcons haven't been able to get going offensively, and there's no reason not go for it here.
Well, the hit parade continues next week as the Falcons go on the road to Anderson County to take on the Mavericks. Anderson County took a tough loss last night to Catholic in the rivalry Thursday game. So Anderson County, they're actually officially 0-1 on the year. Because the first game they were leading Powell, and that game was declared a no contest because of the weather. They originally were going to come back on Saturday and play the rest of the game, but they decided not to, and it was a no contest. There were a few games like that across East Tennessee last week. And some unusual weather conditions.
Might not seem like a huge deal right now, but if you get some of those regions end up being close, that could be big come seeding time.
It could be. Well, here it is, 4th and goal for the Bobcats. 3 receivers again to the right, 1 to the left. Fulton walks up the linebackers. Long is going to roll right, running, going to dump it in there. Pass is incomplete. They got the stop.
Good.
Ran into the boundary and just ran out of room, tried to fire it into a crowd of defenders, and Fulton's able to knock it away. And, guys, that is a huge stop by the Fulton defense.
Yeah, huge stop right there. You make them come up short. Now you got to ride that momentum and drive this thing 96 yards.
Well, but you got the stop, and you're still in the ball game here.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe for your defense, it gives them a little confidence to get settled down.
Yeah, and you've got some guys playing both ways, too, so a lot of the energy can carry over.
So the good news is you got the stop. The bad news is the ball is on your own 4-yard line. As Womble will be the quarterback here in the situation as he's 2 yards deep in the end zone. Bond will be one of the running backs along with Jameel Smith. Womble gets it. It's going to keep near side. Cuts back and will get it up to the 9-yard line. Pushed out of bounds by McAfee. As Fulton got it off the goal line there and gained about 5. One thing Coach Long talked about with the team this week is in some of those situations, if all you can get is 2 yards, that's what you need to get, and not worry about trying to cut back across the field. Get what you can get and move forward.
Yeah, a lot of the time it's better to just take the 3 yards as opposed to trying to cut back for another 5 or 6, because usually those reversals are where you end up drawing flags and get negative plays.
Yeah, and you wind up losing yards. Probably the last play of the first quarter. Womble in the shotgun with 2 running backs. 2 receivers to the left. Womble fakes the handoff to Whittington, cuts back, and is going to be blasted right on the 9-yard line. No gain as a helmet comes flying off, and we have flags all over the field. Faked the handoff to Whittington going left, ran back up the middle right into the teeth of the center. Be a first down for the Falcons. So this will be the last play unless there's another defensive penalty. Last coming here. Womble still the quarterback. High snap, pulls it down, gives it to Whittington. Whittington cuts it up, gets it to the 19, and then is going to be pushed backwards. J.J. Smith cutting through to make the tackle. Positive yards for the Falcons. They're going to get about 4, and that is how the first quarter comes to an end. Central returns the opening kickoff for a touchdown, puts a short scoring drive together. They lead Fulton 14 to. We're back in 60 seconds more as you listen to Fulton football on WKCS Radio.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick, and my niece's learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Act.
A ceremony taking place in between quarters to remember Miss Sharon Rosh, who was a teacher at Fulton High School, who passed away over the summer, and she was a huge fan of Falcon Radio and one of our most ardent supporters, and we certainly miss Sharon being a part of the Fulton family, and members of her family were recognized down on the field before the game, and it was certainly glad to honor her memory here tonight at Bob Black Field. Second quarter to get underway here. Gideon back in at quarterback, handoff up the middle, goes to Womble, past the 20, up to close to the 23-yard line. Gain of about 3, and it'll bring up third down. So Fulton out of the shadow of the end zone, brings Gideon back in, and probably Fulton, that may be the direction they look to go more this year. And again, you're trying to get a guy ready in a week to start at quarterback. As a sophomore, that's a tough task.
Yeah, and come game time, it's one of those you got to kind of like just dip your toe in. You can't really jump in head first.
Third down 2 for the Falcons. Gideon with 2 receivers to the right. Handoff goes to Womble, and he may be back to the line of scrimmage. Central was anticipating it. As there was action going to the left, they gave it to Womble going to the right, and Central was ready. No gain, and it will be 4th and about 1. 11 minutes remaining until halftime And Fulton's going to be forced to punt here.
Be a great time to break out that formation they had last week, where you line up shotgun and drop back in the kick formation.
Yep. And Womble's going to be in the short punt formation here. Womble's going to keep it, trying to get to the outside, and he will going to be close. Going to depend on the spot.
That's inches.
Need it. Look at it past the 24, and they'll say first down, Falcons.
What'd I say?
Wow. A friendly spot for the Falcons there, I'll have to say. And it looks like where they put it down, it was a first down. Central thought it wasn't, so Coach Justin Long went for a huge gamble there, guys, and it almost didn't turn out, but when they put the ball down, it did.
Better to be lucky than good.
So that will move the chains with 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Central leading 14-0.
Had a lot of momentum after the stop last drive, got some positive yardage, and
short
pretty
alignment.
good call.
And Fulton's going to be forced to burn their last time out, as I think they had a player not out on the field, not realizing that Fulton got a first down.
Got to be situationally aware.
Well, Gremlins on the field, Gremlins in the press box, as just Fulton in this second game. You think coaches often say there's a big gain between the first and second game, and it really looks like Fulton coming out in game number 2's kind of struggled here tonight.
You could say that. You're not seeing as much as you saw last week as far as the mistakes, but I do think you're still seeing some small things at very bad times.
Again, this first part of the schedule for the Falcons is extremely tough. Next week, Anderson County, then Gatlinburg-Pittman, that's off to a 2-0 start. I think they're ranked number 3 in Class 3A. Then a very important region game against Heritage, and then you get Alcoa. First and 10 for the Falcons. Womble goes in motion. And a flag is thrown. It's going to be a legal procedure against Fulton. Receiver must have lined up wrong there, as Womble was going into deep motion. So a 5-yard penalty moves it back to the 20-yard line, and it'll be first and 15 for the Falcons. And still, Fulton doesn't have the right personnel out there. Plenty of time on the play clock, 16 seconds. 9:49 on the game clock here in the second quarter. Falcons trailing 14-0. Gideon gets the snap. Handoff goes to Womble up the middle, and he'll fall forward for maybe a yard, past the 20, up to the 21-yard line. And it'll be second down 14. Young quarterback, you're trying to make it easy, and Womble has gotten the majority of the handoffs here for the Falcons.
Start putting in the air a little bit, start instilling some confidence in these young guys.
They got to figure out a way to get him comfortable spreading the ball out. Double twins, 2x2 receivers for the Falcons. Gideon, pump and go. On the slant pass. Incomplete. Intended for Jameel Smith, but right standing in the right spot was Torin McAfee, and he knocks it away incomplete.
Yeah, he had it right where he needed to. Just need a little more zip on that to get it in there a little bit quicker.
Stops the clock, and it'll be 3rd and 13. H-back near the central sideline. Chaz Wood is the lone receiver to the full sideline. Here's Gideon, going to throw it. Pass is going to be underthrown and incomplete. Trying to come back to the football right at the sticks was Makai Holmes. It's incomplete, and it will be 4th down. And this time, more than likely, Fulton will have to punt it.
You can usually pull that one once in a drive. I don't think you can do it twice.
Well, big difference between 4th and 1 and 4th and 13 when you're considering faking a punt.
Dr. Don tell you that one?
Yes. Central doesn't have someone covered down on the near side. Fulton's not able to take advantage. End over end punt is going to hit a Central player, but it bounces right into the hands of the intended punt returner, who was Badgett. The ball bounced off Lanier Badgett, and it would have been a live ball, but Central gets the fortunate bounce right into Javastin Badgett's hand, and Fulton misses out on what could have been a break.
So what color do you reckon that rabbit's foot he's got in his pocket is?
Red and black. 1st and 10 for Central. So the Bobcats drove it and got stopped on 4th and goal last drive. Again, the Fulton defense has been tormented by being put in bad field position situations. We saw it basically the whole second half at Macon County, and again here tonight, as Central's going to have it at the Fulton 44. If you make them drive the field, you feel like you got a chance. Here's Long, going to throw deep middle. Pass is going to be complete to McAfee, who turns around and makes the catch on the 29-yard line and will be dropped at that point for a 1st down. First and 10 Bobcats at the Fulton 28-yard line. 8 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Central trying to add to their 14-0 lead. Long, short drop. Now it's flushed from the pocket. Rolls to the near side. He's going to run with it, and he's going to make a man miss and will step out of bounds as he gets it down inside the 20-yard line. Fulton had a beat on him. They just couldn't bring him down. And the quarterback, Caden Long, steps out of bounds after a gain of about 8.5 yards. So 2nd down and a long one upcoming for the Bobcats. Clock stops with 7:44 remaining. Fulton, 3 down linemen up front. Pistol set as Jalen Johnson is the running back. Long's going to keep it, makes a man miss. Trying to cut through the defense, and he's going to grind his way down to the 15, and that'll be a 1st down. There was a lot of traffic. They just couldn't get a hand on him to bring him down, and Long carries for the 1st down.
Can't let him get that much yardage when you got him trapped like that.
Yeah, you gotta get the quarterback on the ground and not give him the 1st down.
You're that close, at least try and get a hand on him or something.
3 receivers far side. The wide side of the field. Pressure on Long, setting up a screen, and it's underthrown and incomplete. That time the Central lineman kind of had to duck to get out of the way. It almost hit him, and the pressure came from Shamarian Freeman. The pass is incomplete, and it'll be 2nd down as they tried to set a screen on the right side. Three receivers far side. They're going to throw it out to Badgett with blockers out front, and they blocked well, and Badgett's going to go into the end zone for the touchdown. 3 receivers on that side. They threw it. I believe Badgett was the middle receiver, and the inside and the outside guy just blocked down the field, and Badgett goes into the end zone for the touchdown.
Almost makes it look easy.
Yeah, that did look very easy. 16 yards on the pass and catch, and Central's up 20-0.
Executed that play well.
Yep. Give all the credit to the Bobcats. They have really played well here tonight. And Central, as we've said, the last several years have played some of their best football of the year against Fulton. And Fulton has struggled mightily. And here is the extra point. And it is no good. as that was wide left. So really the first break of the day for the Falcons is a missed extra point by Central. 6:56 remaining in the first half. Bobcats leading the Falcons 20-0. It's all Central in the Battle of Broadway as you listen to Fulton football on WKCS Radio.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Central leading this game 20-0. We'll kick it away. As a new kicker will be Cole to kick it away. And he is going to kick it out of bounds. Kicked it down to the 2. And then the ball just took a right turn and went out of bounds in front of the returner. So that will be a penalty for illegal procedure. We're having a myriad of technical difficulties tonight. And it usually happens always in the second game of the year. For some reason, our second broadcast, there's always... So we're having issues in the studio with our audio stream to hear the broadcast online. And I understand we're also having some issues with the video stream as well, as the internet is not cooperating. And if you're a Falcon, the Central Bobcats are not cooperating. They're having their way with Fulton, a 20-0 lead. Here is Womble back in at quarterback as Fulton will scrimmage from the 35-yard line. Handoff around the end goes to Whittington, and he is going to be crushed down. Ethan Huffman as Whittington runs to the right, and there's just nowhere to go.
Got to block better if you're Falcons.
You got to keep the heat off because it's been a whole lot of Womble running it, and they've keyed on that, but really anytime anybody else has run it, there's not been much room for them either. Second down, 11. Central walks up a linebacker to blitz. Womble rolls out. That blitzing linebacker chases him down. Womble running, almost dropped the football, and now is going to throw it right on the sideline out of bounds. So instead of and 5 right on the 40-yard line.
You have to go for it right here.
Yeah, I think if it looks like Fulton's going to punt it. Bring the punt team in. You got to get a good punt here. Try to back them up. Badgett drops back. Womble, as the ball will be snapped from the 40, Womble stands on the 27-yard line. Gets it. Nice high end-over-end kick, as Badgett will catch it in traffic, and then he will be hit down immediately at the 39-yard line. As Darion Bonner with the tackle, as Badgett, who returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown, was not able to get loose on that one. Central 20, Fulton nothing. 5:26 remaining in the first half. A little bit better field position here for the Fulton defense. Central has it on the 39.
Got to have a good defensive possession all around here. get the ball back quick and score a touchdown if you want to have a chance.
Fulton will have the ball to open up the second half. Double twin set. Single running back. It's Harris back in there for the Bobcats. Here's Caden Long. Going to set up a screen, and the pass is incomplete as the pass was thrown to the left side, intended for J.J. Sackey, a little bit low, and Sackey could not hold on to it. Incomplete. It'll be second down and 10 yards to go. Central's not going to waste any time here. Back over the football in the double twin set. Fulton shows blitz. Now they back up. Long looks over to Coach Kevin Lane on the sideline. Lane in his second year as the head coach of the Bobcats, just as Justin Long's in his second year as the head coach of the Falcons. 6 seconds on the play clock. Short drop. They're going to throw it to Sackey again on the left side. Puts his head down, and he will be short of the first down. Just a little outlet over there to the sideline, and Sackey carries it up to the 48. Needed the 49 for a first down, and it will be 3rd and 1.
Got to find a way to contain his screens from Central.
3 receivers to the right, and Fulton jumps off sides. Falcons jumped into the neutral zone, encroachment, and it'll be a 5-yard penalty and a free first down for Central. It'll move the ball into Fulton territory at the 47-yard line. Linebackers show blitz, and Badgett just takes off.
Well, he had him beat. That's for sure.
Yeah, Javastin Badgett took off before the snap and ran about 20 yards down the field with everybody looking at him. Hey, you're going to get a penalty, go at it full speed.
Don't second guess.
5-yard penalty moves it back to the 48. Pistol set again, 3 receivers to the wide side of the field, which is the right side. Now the running back Harris moves to the right of the quarterback. Central waiting. Here's Long, going to throw it down the far sideline. In stride to Sackey. Touchdown. Central Bobcats on the bomb. J.J. Sackey down the far sideline as the Fulton defense was just absolutely torched. And Long's pass hit Sackey in stride for the touchdown.
Never had a chance. Just
made it look easy again. 52 yards on the pass and catch. There is a flag, I think, in the end zone.
Probably a dead ball. I see this one standing.
Yeah, it's probably after the touchdown, possibly a celebration penalty. And it will be touchdown Central. And unsportsmanlike penalty against the Bobcats on the celebration, and the penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. It doesn't affect the extra point.
Maybe he misses another.
Yeah, the last one was missed. And this one is up, and it's right down the middle. Central 27, Fulton nothing. 3:53 remaining in the first half. Back in 60 seconds as you listen to Fulton football on WKCS Radio.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
After the touchdown by Central, a penalty is going to move it back, so Central will kick off instead of from the 40. Will kick this one deep. Be fielded by Jameel Smith on the 19-yard line. Here's Smith trying to get to the center of the field. Cuts up, bounces to the outside, and as he does, he's tracked down and brought down from behind by Lanier Badgett. Great play by him, but a good return by the Falcons. And with 3:45 remaining here in the first half, Fulton trailing 27-0. If you'd like to here, Fulton ball, if you get the ball open up the second half and maybe claw your way back into it. Womble will be the quarterback. Running back is Whittington. As Fulton will have three receivers. Noah Lyons in the slot, Chaz Wood and Jameel Smith. They'll throw it out to Smith on a screen to the far side. And Jameel will fight for a yard. And that's about it. Well covered by the Bobcats. Gain of 1. It'll be second down 9. I believe Life Star is flying over.
I think that's all the score.
Here's Womble. Pass right on the sticks. First down for the Falcons. Nice play. Jameel Smith made the catch and dove for the first down on the far sideline up to the 48-yard line. Remaining. Josh Devious at half will have a word with head coach Justin Long. Get a report from the sideline. Third down and long for the Falcons here. Central only has one timeout left as the play clock is not running. Womble's going to throw it down the sideline. Pass is going to be incomplete. Intended for Holmes, and coverage down the sideline was Badgett. Holmes tried to make an athletic move for the football, just couldn't get to. Badgett had him shielded well.
Feels like every year they give them more and more room. I remember, I think my freshman year, you had probably 2 foot, 3 at most on the sideline.
Yep.
Everybody was right on the field.
You're almost just going to have to put everybody back on the track.
Yeah.
That's to give the coaches the room sideline and give the officials the room that they need and for everybody to be compliant with the rules. So Central, with a minute in the half, will have the ball in good field position at their own 39-yard line. They've got a minute 5 if they want to try to score before halftime, and one. Last time they just hit a long tuck and pressure up, get up. Long looks to run, pump fake, and he's just going to get to the sideline and be pushed out of bounds.
I believe we're going to have a hold here, Russell.
Yeah, back behind the play, probably holding to keep the pressure off the quarterback.
He escaped pretty cleanly.
Long ran smack dab into a Fulton player on the sideline that was not paying attention. The 28-yard line. Actually, the 29, closer to the 29. And it'll be 1st and 20 for Central. Double twin set. 4 wide receivers set to go for the Bobcats. Falcons show blitz over the middle.
Wide
open. They throw it back over the middle to Badgett. Dancing through tacklers. Badgett will have the first down in Fulton territory down to the 45-yard line. Javastin Badgett catches it on the run. Central is going to be over the football immediately. And Long will just spike it into the ground. And the pass will be incomplete, and it stops the clock with 37.2 seconds remaining in the first half.
I feel like you got probably 3 or 4 cracks at it if you don't convert here.
And you still have that timeout.
Yeah. Not a ton of time on the clock, but still a lot of football.
Three receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Central moving towards the safety building. The fire and police departments of the city of Knoxville, the old St. Mary's Hospital. Long gets it. Short drop. Pressure coming from the backside. Is flushed. He's going to throw across his body, out of bounds. Threw it into the Central bench, incomplete. Pressure was coming up the middle from Brody McNair, and Long was just forced to throw it away. And it'll be 3rd and 10. Kind of no man's land here. 29 seconds left, 3rd and 10. I'm sure Central would love to convert right here, take some pressure off. Long rolls into the boundary. Pumps, pass, right on the sideline is going to be complete.
Short.
And making the catch is Bryce Johnston right on the Fulton sideline. And it will be 4th and 1. And Central's going to ask for a timeout to stop the clock with 15.4 seconds remaining. Almost halftime here at Bob Black Field. It's been all Central. 27-0 is our score. Back in 60 seconds as you listen to Fulton football on WKCS Radio.
Ranger Station, Ranger speaking.
Hi. I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
Well, before I left my campsite, I was putting out my fire, and out of nowhere, Smokey Bear showed up and hugged me?
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. He likes it when people correctly put out their campfires. He's pretty big on wildfire prevention. He's just letting you know you did good with a hug. He's a hugger.
I just got a bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update.
All right, I'm going to let you go now. I've got a lot of ranger stuff to do. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
After the timeout, 18 seconds left. They gave Central a first down on the catch by Johnston. Long throws it into the end zone. Sackey overthrown and incomplete. Sackey was open down the near sideline, but the pass is overthrown and incomplete. The clock stops with 10.6 seconds remaining until halftime. Central, 2 seconds on the play clock. They get off the play just in time. They throw it out to Harris on the far side. Harris with blocking and will get a first down to the 23 with 2.7 seconds left. Central's going to have to get over the ball quickly and spike it, and they may have one more chance here for the end zone. He gets it and spikes it with about a second remaining on the clock. As there, I think they're going to... I think they're going to give them. Yeah, I think they're going to give them another play. Spiked it just in time. There was about a second remaining. They've let the Fulton team come over to the sideline.
Don't look like they want to line up. They're going to call it.
No, they're going to say it's halftime. He got it spiked in time, but Fulton's going to catch a break here as they're going to send both teams to the locker room and not let Central have a last play of the half. All Bobcats in the first half, starting with the kickoff return for a touchdown by Badgett. It's 27-0 here at Bob Black Field. Let's go down to the sideline. And Josh Nevius has Fulton head coach Justin Long.
Coach Long, not exactly the half that you wanted to start this football game. What will be your message to this team in the halftime locker room to keep just kind of keep the drive in this team?
We got to do what we're coached to do, first off. You know what I mean? Like this game is very simple. You know, we're reinventing the wheel on the go. You got to do what you're coached to do. We work all week for a reason. You know, so the mindset is just do what you're coached to do, have fun doing it. But, it starts with doing what you're coached to do.
Coach Long, good luck in the second half.
All right, that's Justin Long. And, Josh, you can tell the disappointment and discouragement in his voice as this was not a good first half by Fulton.
No, definitely not. Not the half the Fulton team wanted to start the game, with that opening kickoff and everything. Just the all-around momentum and the feeling of the team to start the football game was very exciting. This is a rivalry game, and then after the opening kickoff, the wind just kind of went out of the sails. So hopefully this Fulton coaching staff can get them motivated and get them coming out of the locker room. They do receive the football to open up the second half, so hopefully this
place on a cold day.
When I grow up, I want to be a fancy backsplash.
I want to be a bike that races around the country.
When I grow up, I want to be a bench on a forest trail.
I want to be a rocking chair on a sunny porch.
I want to be a skyscraper.
I want to be
your state forester, and the Ad Council. Only you can prevent wildfires.
If an individual student athlete or team wins a high school state championship, it's an amazing thing. It's also just the icing on the cake. That's because young people in Tennessee who participate in education-based athletics are already winners. Studies show that
A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. In Sanctuary, can you do succeed? Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
to Oak Ridge. And Gibbs is 1-0. They dismantled Union County last week, and they're already up 10-7 at Knoxville. Team to watch out.
National championship, but replacing a lot of production from last year. They're starting Julian Sang, the transfer from Alabama, and you know, I think I'm just going to have to go with Ohio State in this one. I don't know. You know, there's so much pressure on Arch Manning for Texas that it just doesn't seem like he's going to be able to live up. Lost this, will found them in the right for Texas. And Ohio State, you know,
He knows what it takes. Now he's in the Big Ten. He's going to start the season off with the SEC game. If Ohio State could win this game, which I think they will, it would be smooth sailing from there. Yeah, well, this is a really good game, like I said earlier. And Arch Manning, he showed flashes of greatness throughout the last season he played. Julian Sang is a really talented quarterback. He's going to be really impactful for Ohio State. And obviously, Ohio State has one of the best wide receivers in the country in Jeremiah Smith. And they also have some good other wide receivers just outshined by Jeremiah Smith, like Cornell Tate, for example. And Texas' defense is just outstanding. It's going to be really good this year. This is going to be a really good matchup, but I really like Texas in this one. Arch Manning, like I said, he shows flashes of greatness, and I think he's going to start off with a bang here because Texas is so talented on defense, and I think they have enough offensive firepower to get it done. Next game, we'll choose Tennessee versus Syracuse.
Yeah, you know, this game's going to be played at a neutral site. Tennessee coming off a playoff appearance, getting drilled by Ohio State. But, you know, Tennessee is going to have to replace Nico Yamaliava, who just left the program kind of out of the blue. Nobody really saw it coming. He went over to UCLA. But Tennessee basically swapped quarterbacks with UCLA and basically through the transfer portal acquired Joey Aguilar, who didn't play a snap for UCLA but transferred from Appalachian State to UCLA. And last year at Appalachian State, he looked really good at times, and then sometimes he just threw a bunch of picks, and in big games he didn't really show up for him. And just really for that reason, I don't think he's had enough time to get put into a system, and for really that reason, I'm going to have to pick Syracuse to get the win over Tennessee.
I like Tennessee in this matchup. I like Coach Fran Brown. I like what Syracuse brings to the table after a pretty successful year last year. They beat Miami. They had a really successful season last year, but Tennessee clinched their first college football playoff berth last year. Of course, lost Nico Iamaleava to UCLA and gained Joey Aguilar, who is the starter for the Tennessee Volunteers this season. I like Tennessee's defense this year. I think they're going to be able to contain Syracuse's offense. I don't like what Syracuse's offense brings to the table in this matchup against Tennessee's defense. Yeah, this is a really interesting game. Tennessee's coming off a playoff appearance where they did lose to Ohio State, and Syracuse coming off a really good 9-3 regular season last year. But Syracuse obviously don't have too much hype going into the season, and Tennessee the same with them. So this is why I think that's a pretty interesting matchup. But like they both said, Tennessee and UCLA basically swapped quarterbacks. I think the situation would be better if they had Nico, but Joey Aguilar will do, and the defense is going to be really great. I like Tennessee to win this, but Syracuse, maybe they keep it close. Fran Brown's a great coach, and they got Steve Angeli running at the quarterback this year. Maybe Syracuse can surprise some people, but I really like Tennessee in this game. Next game we'll pick is LSU and Clemson at 7:30 on ABC.
Yeah, this is going to be a great game. You got Garrett Nussmeier and Cade Klubnik, two Heisman favorites. Garrett Nussmeier had a great year last year, and so did Cade Klubnik. And on the line, I want to say that LSU's better. I like LSU's line better, and defensively, but defensively, I think that Clemson is a whole lot better, and I think that Clemson is going to be able to get the job done just because I think their defense is going to be able to contain Garrett Nussmeier better than LSU's defense is going to be able to contain Cade Klubnik.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup because you look at LSU and Clemson, two elite quarterbacks, two people that are being talked about in the Heisman. And if you look at LSU these past years, they've been 0-5 in season openers, and you think to yourself, if they won some of those games, where would they be? Would they be in the playoffs? Would they be making runs in the playoffs? But I think that streak continues, and I like Clemson's matchup. This team is star-studded. You look at the offense and defense, and you see stars all around the team. I like Clemson's matchup. I like Cade Klubnik. I like their offense. I think they'll be able to wear LSU down. And I think Clemson is going to win this game. Man, this is such a good matchup. Because two of the most talented teams in the country, in my opinion. Just stacked top to bottom. And both of these teams have legit playoff hype this year, I believe. And you'll get both teams that Valley. I guess the winner gets to call their stadium Death Valley or something like that. But
yeah.
I really do like LSU. I really do like Clemson in this one. Their defense, their defensive front specifically, T.J. Parker and Peter Woods, two really good guys. And just all-around talent for Clemson. Same with LSU, but I do like Clemson. The home field advantage. Cade Klubnik, such a good quarterback. I like Clemson in this one. We're going to pick one more game here. It'll be Alabama at Florida State at 3:30 on ABC.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep this one short. I like Thomas Castellanos a lot, and I don't think that Alabama's quarterback situation is great with Ty Simpson. And I think that Florida State's been able to get a bunch of people in the transfer portal and kind of just build an entire new program. And I like Florida State to come away with the upset against Alabama in this one.
I like Alabama. I mean, Florida State coming off too bad of a season to win this game. No discrimination to them. I don't like Thomas Castellanos. Maybe being a little too confident on some platforms, but I'm going to like Alabama. I like Ryan Williams. He could win the Heisman this year. Like a bunch of people probably just talked about the 4 Heisman favorites, but I like Alabama in this matchup over Florida State. Yeah, such a good game really here going into Florida State's brand new renovated stadium. Like he said, they got a lot of transfers, including quarterback Thomas Castellanos. Alabama's got a weird quarterback situation. They started Kai Simpson. J.M. Miller's out for this game. A lot of things are bad here for Alabama, but I really do like them to win this game here. And how do you guys think that Fulton can rebound from this first half, maybe get back into the game, make it closer, maybe even pull off the win?
As I stated in the pregame, for the keys to success, they just haven't won the line of scrimmage. And if you don't win the line of scrimmage, you aren't going to be able to move the ball offensively. And offensively, they just haven't looked good. I mean, the running game hasn't been established. You're only getting 2 or 3 yard runs every now and then against this Central defense. And defensively, I think the defense is playing okay. I just think the offense has put them in some bad spots that the defense can't really rebound from.
Yeah, this game, 27-0. It's going to be a large hole for Fulton to dig themselves out of. But they're going to have to, like Vinny said, they're going to have to control the line of scrimmage a lot better. We can't get a bunch of central blocks in the backfield and expect our running back to get out of that. Maybe put it in the air a little more. Fulton has had some success in the air a little bit. They targeted Jamil Smith a lot this game. He's made some athletic plays, got some extra yardage. Fulton's got to limit the yards after catch from Central. They're getting a lot of yards after catch. They got some really good athletes. They got to find a way to wrap them up, get them down where they are. Stop the screen passes. Got to find a way to contain those. Yeah, like most of them said, it's a huge factor. They got to do better on the line of scrimmage. The offensive line, the pocket has just been collapsing so quickly. And there's not enough time, simply just not enough time. And really just everything on offense. They've got some good passes off, but it's going to have to be better. They started getting in this game. Womble came in. That's not working, but the second half, maybe they clean it up. And the defense, like he said, hasn't been playing too bad, and like he said, the yards after catch have been a huge factor for this game, and Fulton's just going to have to play like that, just fix up all the mistakes they're making, obviously, and they can really be back in this game.
Yeah, and I think that the tight end's a really big position for Fulton. I think that if they get the tight end involved, a lot of things could happen. Most of the plays in the first half had the tight end blocking, but if you're able to get that tight end out into open field and get 10 yards maybe on a big pass or something like that, and at least just get some momentum for the start of the second half. You receive the kick, and, you've just got to be ready. You got 20 minutes of a break at halftime, and I'm sure Coach Justin Long has put in some great adjustments to try to be able to get around this Central defense.
And maybe when they have Ethan Gideon in the game at quarterback, they've given the ball to Womble, maybe get him passing it there anymore, mix up the looks for the Central defense. Yeah, also, you got to get the ground game established. A lot of the games we've seen for Fulton have been passes. Maybe you're on a little bit of an option plays in here with Womble at quarterback. And they got some pretty decent running backs, pretty elusive running backs. Maybe on read option, triple option, something like that.
Yeah, you've got Gideon in the game, and you look like you're trying to run the option, but Central's defense is crashing down on your running back every time you try to run that option. So maybe just getting Gideon out into the open field and letting him keep the ball and run with it. Maybe that'll get you some yards that you desperately need. It's just all about momentum coming out in this second half. Fulton gets the ball to start the second half, and maybe they could even return the kickback for a touchdown like Central did in the first half.
Yeah, like that. That's a really big factor. They got to be fired up. They can't just get down on themselves just because they went down 27-0. They got to come back firing, and they got to come back ready to come back in this game and try and win it. But that's it for us. Thank you for joining on the WKCS halftime show. Manny McNish, Trace McCulley, and Jack McCulley. We'll be back after for this with more coverage of the Central versus Fulton game for the second half.
If an individual student athlete or team wins a high school state championship, it's an amazing thing. It's also just the icing on the cake. That's because young people in Tennessee who participate in education-based athletics are already winners. Studies show that win or lose, participation helps to impart skills they can use to enjoy greater success in other areas of their lives. School sports teach the benefits of teamwork, the value of self-motivation, and the importance of accountability. They also help to foster stronger work habits and higher levels of self-esteem. In other words, the true value of school sports can't be measured in terms of wins or losses. If an individual or team goes to state, it's an incredible accomplishment. But regardless of the outcome, today's student athletes are already destined to go far. School sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association and the Tennessee Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Second half action set to get underway here from Bob Black Field in the Battle of Broadway, and it has been a one-sided battle as the Central Bobcats have pretty much dominated this game from the opening kickoff. They lead 27-0. And guys, as Fulton goes out for the second half, I think it's just, at this point, you're just battling for pride right here.
Yeah, Russell, you know what they call a one-sided battle, right?
What's that?
A beating.
Yes. It's been a Bobcat beatdown of the Falcons of this. And again, we've said inexperienced, and the inexperience and has really been on display, which is disappointing considering how well the Falcons played in the first half at Macon County. That opening kickoff return for a touchdown, which we said the Falcons worked on all week to try to work on doing a better job at covering kickoffs, and Badgett just took it to the house, and it's been all downhill from there. Here's the second half kickoff. Line drive down the field. It's going to bounce.
Let it go out.
It's going to roll out of bounds. That's the second time in a row that Central has kicked the kickoff out of bounds as they've tried to kick it deep instead of the short kind of directional pop-up kicks that we have been seeing.
Yeah, looks like they're trying to pin him on like the inside the 10-yard line, which maybe.
Well, now for the Falcons, you've got to try to get something going, because you can't feel sorry for yourself, because next week you've got to go to Anderson County, who hasn't lost a region game since COVID. You got a tough battle. The road is uphill.
Yeah, this is a really important game right here.
Gideon will be the quarterback. He started the game. We saw Womble for most of the second quarter. Gideon, draw play on first down, gives it to Womble, and Womble will grind forward for about 3 yards. Just patient running, getting what he can. As Rajon Womble goes right up the middle on first down. Fulton will quickly come over the football. 27-0 is our score. Bobcats with the lead here in quarter number 3. Three receivers to the left, one to the right. 3 down linemen for the Bobcats. Gideon throws near side to Makai Holmes.
Protect the
But
rock.
Holmes is going to be hit out of bounds as he gets it past the 40 up to about the 43-yard line. So Holmes gets the catch.
Yeah, Fulton needs time to go their way this drive because every other drive's come up empty, and they need a momentum shifter here.
Third down and 2 yards to go for the Falcons.
Yeah, we often talk about the middle 8 and how crucial they are.
Yeah, you gotta get a score here and get a little momentum. It's imperative. Gideon with a single running back. It's Womble. Now they look over to the sideline and get a new play call. Central has 6 men up on the line of scrimmage and 2 linebackers. So 8 men in the box for the Bobcats on 3rd and short. Gideon pressure, and he's going to be blasted. And then they were ready to body slam, and the officials mercifully blew the whistle. The sack by Deshaun Wilson of the Bobcats.
4th down.
And the Falcons go 3 and out on their first offensive possession of the third quarter. So Womble will be in punt formation. Badgett back deep to return for the Bobcats. McAfee will be a safety. Low snap. Womble gets it, and he's going to get blasted. They'll say it was partially blocked, and now Womble is slow to get up. Oh, heavens, no. Please, no. Jackson Garrison was the rusher. I think he must have got a hand on the football because Womble was blasted, and now Fulton's most experienced football player is laying on the turf and slow to get up. Looks like he's up.
Yep, head official is signaling that he got a hand on the ball.
Looks like he's going to be okay. So the Falcons dodge a bullet. And on a night where everything's gone wrong, that would be the ultimate thing to go wrong.
Yeah, for sure. Don't want to see one of your best players.
Yeah, to lose your most experienced player. And I don't know what the officials are doing here, as they're going to mark the football. Clean punt, so they're going to mark it at the central 48-yard line. Well, no, they've given Fulton the football back. So what was the penalty?
Russell, it was an illegal substitution on Central.
Oh, okay, well, I never saw a flag. So Fulton catches a break. They give it to Womble, and he will be swarmed under immediately right on the midfield stripe. It'll be a loss of 3 yards, actually back into Fulton territory.
Slipped on the turf.
I never saw a flag there.
No.
Second down, 13 from the 49. Ethan Gideon, sophomore quarterback for the Falcons, has 2 receivers on the right side of the formation. Central, 4 men up on the line of scrimmage, 2 linebackers. Gideon fakes the handoffs, going to keep it. In trouble, going to run,
tuck and go,
and throws it away as he was in the grasp, and they're going to call, I guess, a intentional grounding, or actually a legal forward pass. I think he was across, maybe close to being across the line of scrimmage. Close enough for the official.
As long as he's got a foot behind the line.
Yeah, and mine is like you have to have, like, the entire body has to be across the line of scrimmage for that to be a penalty.
Yeah, if he's got a toe back, it counts.
Yeah, it's a much more difficult to commit that penalty than maybe you would think, the way the rule is written. The entire body has, not just part.
Yeah, it's got to be a no doubt.
And they're going to say, well, they're going to call it.
He's outside the tackle box.
They're going to call it grounding. There were people in the area.
Do what?
So it will be intentional grounding. I thought there was a maroon shirt in the area.
There was. It was double coverage, but there was one there.
There were plenty of white shirts. So it's a penalty and a loss of down. And it will be 3rd and 16 here for the Falcons after the penalty. You know, every time they come up here and want to adjust the clock, I think they owe us an explanation for what just happened out on the field.
Yep.
3rd and 16. Womble in the shotgun. Will be the quarterback this time. Straight drop back pressure on. Is chased by Wilson. Going to cut it up. Looking for running room. Makes one man miss. And keeps making people miss. He's getting loose. Here to the far side. Here's Womble at the 40. He has the first down. And stays up. And will get it down to the 31-yard line. And for the first time tonight, Fulton fans are on their feet on an incredible run by Rajon Womble. But we've got players down all over the place. We've got Makai Holmes near the Fulton sideline. And you've got Kalen Chesney over on the hash on the far side.
He made something out of nothing
we've not seen that since Marcellus Jackson. The ability to get out of a mess like Rajon Womble did right there. Looked like he was going to get tackled about 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, right there's about 100 yards worth of running for a 40-yard gain.
Holmes is up, and he will walk off under his own power. Chesney for the Bobcats.
I think he was at the bottom of that pile.
Is a little bit slower to get up. Coach Kevin Lane out to take a look. And we won't speculate. He looks like he's going to sit up. Like they weren't trying to stretch anything out like a cramp. But he gets up and walks off the field under his own power.
Yeah,
so that's definitely a good sign for Central. Well, what a run by Womble. Biggest offensive play of the game for the Falcons, as it brought a little life to the crowd here at Bob Black Field. Will that give the Fulton offense a little confidence?
One could hope.
Armani Bond, John Whittington are the running backs for the Falcons. Jameel Smith, the wide receiver, to the left side of the formation near the Fulton sideline. They fake the handoff to Whittington. Here is Womble in pressure. Going to throw off his back foot, incomplete. Trying to get it to Jameel Smith, coming back to the ball, but the pass was well underthrown and incomplete. And it will be 2nd down and 10. Clock stops with 9:03 remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
Hoping they can continue this drive and get a score out of it. Touchdown, hopefully.
This is the closest to the end zone the Falcons have had it here tonight. At the Central 31. That tells you what a struggle it's been tonight on the offensive side of the ball here for the Falcons. H-back and 2 receivers to the right. Smith split to the near side of the field. Now Whittington goes in motion. Womble fakes, is going to keep it, and they're just going to sling him to the ground. Central's not fooled by the fakes. When Womble fakes it, they're right on top of him, and usually about 3 people.
Yeah.
Well, it's because they know he's not going to give it up.
Yeah.
That's your playmaker right there. If he's faking the ball, he's going to keep it.
Some fans having some fun down below us as a timeout is on the field. Timeout on the field, 8:41 remaining here in 8:41 remaining in the 3rd quarter. We'll break a 60-second break and be back. That gentleman having a much better night than we are as you listen to Fulton football on WKCS Radio.
Everybody buckle up. Buckle up. Buckle up. Buckle up. Everybody buckle up. Buckle up. Buckle up. Everybody, buckle up.
Let's go.
Buckle up.
Can we go to the store? Mom, can we get some ice cream?
Buckle up.
Everybody.
Buckle up.
Everybody buckle up.
A lot goes on in the car, but remember, you're in control. Stand firm. Only move when you hear the click that says they're buckled in. Never give up until they buckle up. Learn more at safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
As play resumes, it'll be 3rd down and 13. Here's Womble rolling to the left. He's going to run it, pulls it down, makes a nice move, puts a foot in the ground, and slides down as he gets it close to the first down marker. Let's see. It's where you start the slide, and I think they're going to say that's enough for a first down.
Yep, they're going to give it to him.
On the run by Rajon Womble, carrying for the first down.
Falcons on the move.
And Russell, this coaching staff down here on the sideline really starting to get into it now.
Well, you know, and that's sometimes for this Fulton team. If you can make some plays, it gives guys some energy, and it gives them a little bit of confidence. And that is...
Well, yeah, Coach Justin Long down here jumping up and down trying to get his team motivated.
Yeah, and I think the thing is the Falcons have played with almost not much confidence tonight. 2 receivers, far side. Womble going to pitch it to Whittington. To the 20, down to the 19 goes John Whittington, the sophomore running back. The 19-yard line. Fulton will have twins to the right. As now Lions will go to make it a trip set on the far side. They're going to throw middle on the screen, pass to Whittington, complete. And he will be tripped up back at the original line of scrimmage, the 19. They were setting up the screen, and Fulton just could not get the blockers downfield to give him some running room. Third down and 8. For the Falcons. As the skill players come to the sideline and get a play from Coach Justin Long. And a timeout is going to be asked for as the clock had rolled down to 0. And I think Fulton will get a timeout before the penalty. Central 27, Fulton nothing. 6:25 remaining in the third quarter. We'll be back in 60 seconds as you listen to Fulton football on WKCS.
Hey, America. We need to have a little talk. We've got more food in our country than we know what to do with. Food at the grocery store and food in the vending machines, fast food, health food, and seafood. We've got so much food that anything people don't buy, we just throw out. Yet 17 million kids in America struggle with hunger. That ain't right. Luckily, the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks has volunteers gathering excess food and getting it to hungry kids. They're kind of like food angels. Yeah, I made that up. It's kind of catchy. Hello, people. This isn't rocket science. We could solve hunger today. To start, become a food angel yourself by supporting Feeding America in your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. We can't do it without your help.
To help solve hunger in East Tennessee, contact Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee or visit feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Third down and 8 yards to go for the Falcons inside the Central 20. Here's Womble. Going to throw out to Smith. Complete. Puts a foot in the ground. Makes a man miss. He's going to go into the end zone. Touchdown. Big Maroon, 19 yards. Rajon Womble to Jameel Smith on the far end of the field. And a couple of great plays with the feet by Womble, and that time by Jameel Smith to make a couple of tacklers miss and get into the end zone. And for the first time tonight, the Falcons are on the board.
An acrobatic touchdown.
Great way to run after the catch.
McAfee is the injured player for Central. Looks like he has maybe a cramp. And he will get up and walk off under his own power. Obviously very disappointed that Fulton kicked that one in. Galvis to attempt the extra point. Diego Galvis. Extra point, kick is up, and the kick is no good. Wide right.
No good on the knuckler.
6:13 remaining in the third quarter, 27-6. And that is definitely a good sign for the Falcons to get on the board. And let's see if the Fulton defense can get a little life about them.
Yeah, they need to stop here. Central scoring on a lot of their drives.
And that was the opening drive, so Fulton took almost 6 minutes off the clock to open up the third quarter as they get the score. It was aided by, on the punt, an illegal substitution penalty by Central that gave Fulton a first down. But the Falcons were able to cash it in. And make it 27-6. As we said, next week we will be in Anderson County as the Falcons will take on the Mavericks. And we hope that you'll join us for that broadcast coming up next Friday night. The Falcons go on the road for 2 consecutive weeks to Anderson County and then to Gatlinburg-Pittman. So here's Womble to kick it away.
What can't he do?
McAfee and Badgett back to return. Last kickoff was returned for the touchdown. Fulton is just going to pounce it down the field, and falling on it is going to be Chesney at the 31-yard line. And a Fulton player slow to get up. Back behind the play. I didn't exactly see what happened there. As it's Zion Nelson of the Falcons. And you're at the point now, if you're Fulton, you're already shorthanded.
Yeah, you don't.
You've had some serious injury situations you've dealt with all year. Nelson has shown to be a guy that really mixes it up for you. You can't afford to lose him. Kevin Lane also comes out in a show of solidarity. And Nelson gets up and walks off under his own power, which is a good sign. He's going to walk to the trainer's table and visit with Fulton trainer Chico Dupas. Well, if you're a Fulton fan, you'd love to see a turnover right here of some sort. We've not seen the Central offense on the field in a while.
That's how we like it, Russell.
Turnover could maybe make things interesting. Out of the pistol set, Long with the running back Harris. Long's going to keep it. He's got running room. And he will dive down after getting the first down and dive at the 44-yard line. Faked right, ran left, and scrambled for the first down. Central will now have 4 wide receivers ready to go. Double twin set. Once again, the pistol. Fulton, 3 down linemen. They'll walk 2 linebackers up. Handoff. Harris up the middle. Has running room, and he'll get close to another first down into Fulton territory. As they've just gashed Fulton on 2 consecutive plays.
Yeah, you would like to see them stop the run maybe a little bit better. Defensive front is getting, their offensive line is kind of bored with the defensive front.
Gain of 9. It'll make it 2nd and 1. 5:20 remaining third quarter. Central 27, Fulton 6. 3 receivers far side. They're going to throw it out to Badgett. Badgett catches it right on the 50. Badgett tries to cut to the outside. He has the first down and not much more as he falls forward to the 46 as Darion Bonner brings him down. And it will be a fresh set of downs for the Bobcats. And now Badgett goes down. I think he caught a cramp and just fell to the turf. This is, if Fulton could have kept themselves in the ball game, one of the advantages Fulton had is they played a full game start to finish last week, where Central's game was delayed for quite a bit. Still a full football game, but Fulton had to, exert effort in a normal game-like situation. Central's game, there was delays where guys could get recuperated.
Yeah.
And, some of Central, we've seen Badgett, we've seen McAfee with cramps. You get those guys out of the game, things could be very different.
Yeah, and Fulton played really good in the first half against Macon County, so maybe if they can do some of that here in the second half.
Again, teams fighting the cramping issue here in the early part of the year. Even though it's been unseasonably cool, it's still a little bit humid. Three receivers near side. Handoff goes to Harris, just making people miss. And getting deep into Fulton territory, past the 25, down to the 24. And Jaden Harris of the Bobcats rumbles for a first down.
Yeah, they're putting together a pretty good drive here.
Well, we asked for a turnover. We've gotten a whole lot of Central running the football well.
Yeah, for sure.
Quickly over the football. They'll go to Harris again, running left. Fulton trying to get him. First man missed, but then the rest of the maroon shirts get there and drop him for what may be a short loss. Ran to the left, and Fulton was able to chase him down. Second down, 11 for the Bobcats. It is a loss of 1. Not seen many negative yard plays tonight by the Bobcats. They'll send trips receivers, and Fulton jumps off sides.
Not what you want to see.
Trying to anticipate the snap for the blitz, and they are called for encroachment.
Now a turnover will be really nice since Central's all the way down here.
Three receivers near side. One split to the far side. That's Sackey, who caught a touchdown pass earlier. They throw deep middle, intended for Johnson. Johnston, he was open, and it was in and out of his hands, incomplete. And now we've got a tumble back at the line of scrimmage. I think the blitzing linebacker and one of the Central linemen got into it just a little bit. And it'll be incomplete. Johnston was open in the center of the field, but the pass was a little bit high, and he couldn't haul it in. Third down, 6 yards to go. Central at the Fulton 21. They're going to give it to Harris, and Harris has the first down and more. Rumbling past the 15 down to the 13.
Central's run game this drive has been great. Every play that
and we saw that. That's what Macon County did a whole lot in the second half. They just ran to the left and just rumbled right down the field.
Yep. Their run defense is definitely going to improve.
And we've seen even last year teams do exactly that. When they just wanted to run right at you, they were effective.
Yeah, for sure.
First and 10, just because the Falcons are undersized. Handoff Harris, makes a nice cut to the outside, gets to the 5 and will go
just in there
into the end zone for the touchdown. 12 yards, Jaden Harris got to the corner and goes into the end zone for the score. And Central increases the lead to 33-6.
Yeah, they had something going with that touchdown there. If the defense would have got stopped there, would have been in prime position for a comeback.
McGaha to attempt the extra point. As Starnes is the holder. The kick is up, and it is good. 3:08 remaining third quarter. Central increases the lead and answers the Fulton touchdown. Bobcats 34, Fulton 6. Back in 60 seconds with the kickoff. You're listening to Fulton Football on WKCS Radio.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee. Because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Sounds of Central's Red and Black from the Central Band emanating through Bob Black Field, and they've got to play it quite a bit tonight as they lead Fulton 34-6 here in the third quarter. It's been all Bobcats. Central set to kick off. The last couple of kicks have gone out of bounds. This one's going to be right down the hash. Smith will field it on the 3 for the Falcons. Needs a block. Here's Jamil Smith breaking through tackle, trying to get to the sideline, and a touchdown saving tackle. As if he'd have gotten loose, he might have been gone. But then he got
there.
Yeah, he got bear hugged. I believe it was by Woods and Smith of the Bobcats. They got him from the backside as he was just about to break loose and get to the Fulton sideline. Still a nice return.
Yeah, they were scrounging for the football, too, trying to cause a fumble.
Yep, and Jamil is an exciting player if you can get the ball to him.
Yeah, but the offensive line, as in walking that Willis game, you'd like to get it to him a lot more.
And back into the ball game at quarterback is going to be Ethan Gideon, who started the game. Womble will be the running back. And I think it's important, Fulton, just to try to get him some snaps and experience. Gideon fakes the handoff. He's going to throw off his back foot. Looking. Pass is going to be caught, complete on a nice catch over on the Central sideline.
Great pass.
He threw it up. Makai Holmes went up and got it. As Gideon threw it on the run, and Makai tracked it down. Central will be a 1st and 10 for the Falcons. So a little life out of the Fulton offense.
Yeah, that was a great catch up there. That's what you want to see from people on this team like that.
Let's see if they can carry it.
Yeah. Lyons comes in motion. Now Holmes comes in motion to the near side of the field. Pistol set, Gideon the quarterback. Fulton will have 2 receivers to the left. 2:05 remaining. Handoff goes to Womble, spinning his way through the line of scrimmage, and will get it inside the 9.
Pickup of 6 there.
Cortez Hall, a big freshman for the Bobcats, making the tackle. Central's got some good size. We said coming into the game that they were quite an experienced football team, but they also have a lot of good young players.
Yeah, Fulton's definitely really undersized with a lot of young players there.
Well, undersized, inexperienced.
Yeah.
Not very deep. It's just kind of a recipe for it's what 34-6 looks like.
Yeah, for sure.
Gideon on 2nd down and 4. Throws it to the near side on a little screen to Womble, and Womble will be wrestled down by McAfee. We had a little wrestling match going on, but it resulted in a loss for Fulton.
Yep.
Loss of about 6. As Womble went backwards, it'll be 3rd and 10. Ball moved back to the 46. Fulton will have 4 receivers set to go down the field. Gideon catches, pump and go. Throws deep center, overthrown
into the arms.
Intended for Jameel Smith. It's intercepted by McAfee. And here's McAfee. He's got a convoy down the far sideline at the 20 and will be tripped up at the 19-yard line.
He had him open.
Torrin McAfee with the interception, and Central knocking on the door to increase the lead as Fulton's got a player down across the way in the tackle down the field.
Like a cramp.
Looks like a cramp. Well, and that's the thing there for you've got to get Gideon some experience.
Yep.
And when that happens, sometimes, as he was intending the pass for Smith, things like that happen. It's part of the learning process.
With that learning comes a few growing pains.
Mason Lawrence, the player shaken up for the Falcons, comes off the field under his own power. Then we've had a Central player go down over on the sideline. No, another Fulton player went down. That is Womble.
A lot of players are going down this game for Fulton. Not really good.
So Womble's able to come off under his own power. And the interception gives Central the football at the Fulton 18-yard line. Womble still walking to the sideline, talking to trainer Chico Dupas. 48.2 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Central leading 34-6. Will be back in the pistol set. The running back will be Jalen Johnson behind the quarterback Caden Long. High snap. They give it to Johnson. Bounces to the outside. 15, and then he is wrestled out of bounds. Whittington.
Good tackle on the boundary there.
Whittington giving up a little bit of size, made a nice tackle and slung Johnson out of bounds. Nice play there. Second down, 5 yards to go.
Russell got Gideon checking in on defense here.
Yeah, and they thought coming into the season that Gideon would play a lot on defense. He's not afraid to hit. Handoff, Johnson cuts back at the 5, and then about 3 Falcons bring him down right there.
First and goal upcoming.
Mackay Holmes along with Hutchinson in on the tackle, and it'll be first and goal for the Bobcats.
Fulton right now just trying to keep fresh bodies in there.
2 receivers near side. Handoff. Johnson makes the first man miss. Grinding. And now there'll be a push into the end zone, and it will be touchdown, Central Bobcats. Just the extra effort there by Central. Gets it into the end zone to make it 40-6. And the extra point here would make it a 35-point lead, which would get the clock to run. So once again, Magaha to kick it out of the hold of Starnes. The kick is up, and it is good. Central 41, Fulton 6, 8.6 seconds remaining in the third quarter. We'll be back in 60 seconds as you listen to Fulton football on WKCS Radio.
Let's talk about the X's and O's of family entertainment. Every parent in Tennessee knows the importance of being able to draw up an activity that'll get you out of the house for a couple of hours. But it needs to be affordable. It needs to be family-friendly. Above all, it needs to be fun. Now, let's talk about high school sports. Bang for your buck, school sports provide the perfect game plan for your family. You'll enjoy all of the drama and excitement competitive sports offer. You'll be supporting the future leaders of our community in a meaningful way. Best of all, you can take the entire family without breaking the bank. Heck, you won't even dent it. Now, enough chalk talk. Let's get out there and see what's playing at the high school in your community. School sports. Good for our kids, good for our community. This message presented by the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association and the Tennessee Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Bobcats to set to kick it away after yet another touchdown. It'll be Cole to kick it. Right down the center of the field. Jameel Smith fields it on the 4. Wedge set up. Smith breaks to the outside. Trying to get to the Fulton sideline. Turns on the Jets. 40, 45, 50. Down the next sideline. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, sir. Take that. Touchdown. Big Maroon on the kickoff return. Jameel Smith, 96 yards to the house.
You'll love to see it.
So Badgett had a kickoff return earlier in the ball game, and now Jameel Smith, his biggest play of the Falcon, 96 yards on the kickoff return, and Fulton cuts the lead to 41-12 on the last play of the third quarter.
It's not much, but it's an answer, that's for sure.
Well, and it shows a little bit of life here. Galvis to attempt the extra point. Out of the hold of Womble. Good snap. The kick is up by Galvis, and it is right down Broadway. Kick is good by Diego Galvis. 12 minutes remaining in the ball game because that's the end of the third quarter. Fulton answers the Central touchdown with a kickoff return. Fulton trails Central 41-13 back in 60 seconds with the fourth quarter as you listen to Fulton football on WKCS Radio.
From time to time, parents occasionally ask,
is it safe for my children to participate in high school sports?
A better question might be,
is it safe for my children not to participate in high school sports?
Statistics show that teenagers are likely to be healthier and stay healthier as adults if they play a sport in high school. Participating in a high school sport builds and maintains strong bones, muscles, and joints. High school athletes are also more likely to develop good eating habits. High school athletes not only have stronger bodies, their self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-discipline are strengthened too. So insightful parents aren't asking,
is it safe for my children to participate in high school sports?
Instead, they're asking,
hey, what time is the game tonight?
This message presented by the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association and the Tennessee Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Jameel Smith with the kickoff return for a touchdown. We'll get a report from our statistician here in a minute on the official yardage on that touchdown. As here's Womble to kick it away. It's going to be an onside kick rolling down the field, but Central's able to pick it up. It just got into the hands of Biddle of Central. Fulton almost had it. Kicked it just a little bit too hard. And Central will have it at the 42-yard line. And that takes the mercy rule off. And the Bobcats will have the football. And we'll be under normal scoring rules here. Timing rules. As it looks like a new quarterback in for the Bobcats. As they give it to Jaden Harris, far side. And he'll get maybe a yard as he tries. Puts it on the 42. Next week at Anderson County, 2 weeks at Gatlinburg. Then the next home game 3 weeks from now as a flag is down. As we'll see the Heritage Mountaineers on Bob Black Field. Heritage will make their first appearance at Fulton since 1991, the opener of the 1991 season. That was the first Fulton event I ever attended.
Oh, really?
Yeah, sure was. And now we have another penalty against Central. So another legal procedure is going to move it back, and it will be 2nd down and 20. Elmore, the quarterback. 11:07 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Central leading Fulton 41-13. Falcons show blitz. Elmore, short drop, steps up, going to fire it down the center of the field. Pass is going to be great catch right on the sideline, complete.
Wow.
McAfee makes a great play. And you just got to tip your hat there. So he made a great catch, and credit Elmore with a good throw, and that'll be a 1st down for the Bobcats. Into Fulton territory at the 46.
Yep. Threaded the needle right there, heavily contested catch, but just able to get it in and keep those feet down.
2 receivers near side. And now we have another whistle as we're going to have another flag against Central. And that'll move the Bobcats back 5 more yards. First and 15. Ball will be snapped from the 49. Elmore, the quarterback. Handoff. Harris going to be hit in the backfield and dropped. Oh, actually, Elmore, great fake. As he's going to get a nice gainer as Harris was hit at the line of scrimmage. But Elmore was able to keep it and carries it into Fulton territory. Gain of 5 to the 46-yard line. And then there was a scuffle down the field after the play.
All in good fun.
Fulton not liking the aggressive blocking down the field. Fulton short a linebacker. And Central ran the play clock down to 0. They were unable to take advantage of Fulton being a man short on the field, and the play clock ran out and Central forced to take a timeout. 9:55 remaining in the football game. 41-13 is our score. Under 10 minutes remaining in the game. Back in 60 seconds as you listen to Fulton football on WKCS Radio.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
When I grow up, I want to be a glass countertop in a new home.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's best birthday present.
When I grow up, I want to be a football stadium.
When I grow up, I want to be a warm fleece on a cold day.
When I grow up, I want to be a fancy backsplash. I want to be a bike that races around the country.
When I grow up, I want to be a bench on a forest trail.
I want to be a rocking chair on a sunny porch.
I want to be a skyscraper.
I want to be When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. A public service advertisement brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
On 2nd down. Harris, as they basically just went student body right. He got the first down. Can't beat fun at the old ballpark. Handoff, we got a fumble. It bounces right into the hands of Johnson, and he'll just have to run out of bounds after a 5-yard loss. And again, that could have been good for Fulton, but there's another ball that just bounces right back into the hands of the Bobcats.
Yeah, very rarely is Fulton going to get those bounces.
Well, as the legendary Jerry Reed once sung, when you're hot, you're hot, and when you're not, you're not. And I would have the football game. The quarterback is Elmore. The running back is Johnson. They're going to sweep to the near side. Johnson cuts back.
I'll get the first
and
down.
Will probably get the first down as he bowls over a tackler right on the 15-yard line. Went left and then cut back. And that will move the chains for the Bobcats. And we have an official timeout.
They're going to measure. I believe they're bringing in the chains for a measurement because it's showing 4th down on the marker.
Football, a game of inches.
And looking at it, the ball's right on the 15. And it may be, the marker is just kind of beyond the.
Just past the half.
Yeah, the 15. So this may be a little bit short.
Depends on what part of the line he puts that marker on.
They'll put it down.
He is short. He's short.
And it will be just a little bit short. About a half of a football. The official said first down Fulton, but it was 3rd down.
He's saying first down.
He's still saying first down Falcons.
Numbers are hard.
I don't know that that's right. Yeah, it's now 4th down, yeah.
It's been a long night for the officials, too.
Yeah, it's been a long night for everybody except for those across the way. It's been a fun night for them. 3 receivers far side. 4th and 1. Elmore will be they're waiting on the chains to get set. And when they do, they'll let Elmore snap it. Jaden Harris is back behind him at running back. They'll give it to Harris. And he will get the first down, makes a cut, and will run into the end zone for a touchdown. Touchdown, Central Bobcats on the run by Harris. And that increases the lead to 47-13. And McGaha to attempt the extra point. And the snap, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So that makes it 48-13. That's the 35-point deficit. So the clock will run as we get ready for the next kickoff. Central 48, Fulton 13. Back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Fulton football on WKCS Radio.
Teenager is tough. There's the constant pressure to be liked.
Endless worrying about college.
Cyberbullying, high expectations, all the negativity.
There's no question. Being a teenager is tough. And what do Tennessee's teens do when they want to block out the noise and clear their heads?
We play!
Research shows that teenagers who participate in high school sports have lower stress levels, more confidence, and greater self-esteem. And then there's the biggest benefit of all.
High school sports are fun.
Not just fun.
They're a lot of fun.
Encourage your teenagers to participate in a sport or activity when they go to high school. They'll stress less and smile more. And they'll be laying the foundation for a happier, healthier future.
This message presented by the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association and the Tennessee Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
They'll send Magaha out to kick off. Last kickoff was returned by Jameel Smith for a touchdown. Here's Magaha to kick it away. They're going to high short kick it, and Hutchinson's just going to fair catch it on the 31. So they're not going to give Fulton another opportunity to have a big return. And we'll see the Fulton offense come back out as the clock runs. I want to let you know we are going to be taking orders again on some more WKCS Radio t-shirts. We, right at the end of the last school year in the summer, we sold some WKCS t-shirts in order to raise money for the radio station, thanks to our friends at Highland Design. So check our WKCS Radio social media channels, and we'll have the link to where, if you're interested, you can support WKCS Radio by ordering a WKCS Radio t-shirt. Here's a handoff. Whittington grinding through traffic, and will get about 8 yards up to the 40. Whittington, sophomore, just patiently waiting behind his blockers, and it will be 2nd down 2 for the Falcons. Handoff, Whittington. Nice little hold. Whittington will get about 5 yards on the right side.
Yeah, well, it definitely looks like Central's going to be good this year. They kept it close with Dobbins Bennett, and they're beating Fulton by quite a large
Dobbins
margin.
Bennett's always a real good 6A school.
Yep.
Powerhouse from Upper East Tennessee. Of course, Fulton's schedule couldn't be much tougher.
Yeah.
Central, despite losing that first game, as we said, had so many experienced players and seniors. You knew it was going to be a rough night potentially for the Falcons. Here's Gideon, pass incomplete on the near side, intended for Will Dixon. Dixon was well covered. The pass falls incomplete, and it will be 3rd down and 5.
to be a little more analytical.
And in talking to some of the Macon County coaches after the game last week, and then Macon County basically said our goal was to stop number 4. Timeout asked for by Fulton with 4:24 remaining in the football game. 48-13 is our score. We will take another 60-second break and be back. This is Fulton football on WKCS Radio.
Let's talk about the X's and O's of family entertainment. Every parent in Tennessee knows the importance of being able to draw up an activity that'll get you out of the house for a couple of hours. But it needs to be affordable. It needs to be family-friendly. Above all, it needs to be fun. Now, let's talk about high school sports. Bang for your buck, school sports provide the perfect game plan for your family. You'll enjoy all of the drama and excitement competitive sports offer. You'll be supporting the future leaders of our community in a meaningful way. Best of all, you can take the entire family without breaking the bank. Heck, you won't even dent it. Now, enough chalk talk. Let's get out there and see what's playing at the high school in your community. School sports. Good for our kids, good for our
minutes remaining in the ball game. It's been a pretty good night for teams in the region, which is bad news for Fulton. As Carter and Grace, Carter just tied Grace up 21-21 with 5:08 left in the fourth. Gibbs having their way with Halls tonight. And Heritage and CAK going down to the wire. And we're going to have a delay of game against the Bobcats. Move it back 5 yards as the clock rolls to the 3-minute mark remaining in the football game. It's going to be a challenge, I think, guys, this week for Coach Long just to keep you've got a tough battle on the road at Anderson County just to try to keep your guys focused on trying to get better. There's a pass near side incomplete. Quarterback is Brayson Gorley, who's a freshman. Clock is running here, 2:38 remaining. Gibbs has defeated Halls 24-21.
Battle of Black Oak Ridge happened a little early in the year.
Yep. 2 receivers far side. Here's Gorley, gets the snap, and he's going to go for the football as he was stripped from the backside. Stripped by Armani Bond, and the fumble is recovered by Jamarius Hansard. So the first turnover of the game for the Bobcats.
Russ, I believe you call that a takeaway.
Yeah, the Falcons stripped it. And Fulton will have 1:53 here with the ball to see if they can make something happen before the end of the game.
Yeah.
Try to end the game on a high note.
I think right here is just a good test for the young quarterback here.
Yep.
Put him in a good 2-minute offense.
Back to pass. Hit as he throws. Throws it deep. Got a man down here. It's Dixon makes the catch, and he'll go into the end zone. Touchdown, Big Maroon to Will Dixon. As throwing it up was Gideon, and he got hit as he threw it. And Dixon runs under it and gets his first touchdown as a Falcon. Touchdown, Big Maroon, 49 yards on the pass and catch from Ethan Gideon to Will Dixon. Gideon's first TD pass. Dixon's first catch is a touchdown.
Yeah, beautiful right there. Great composure by the young sophomore here.
And the extra point attempt coming from Diego Galvez.
Eventually. Possible equipment
As
issue
Fulton
here.
had too many people on the field. A legal substitution. And that'll back it up 5 yards. We talked earlier about the penalty that gets half the distance to the goal. You know, kickers don't like that. But in this case, this is going to make it going back 5 yards. It's going to be a little bit tougher here for Galvez. Womble will hold, as this will be a 25-yard kick. Kick by Galvez, got partially blocked, and it's no good.
About took the ball right to the dome for the official there.
Yep. 1:21 remaining in the ball game. Central 48, Fulton 19, back in 60 seconds with the conclusion of this one as you listen to Fulton football on WKCS Radio. Falcons get the touchdown pass. As Gideon hits his first touchdown pass of his career. And set to kick it away will be Womble with 1:21 remaining.
Bobcats ready for the onside this time.
We want to just punches it down the field, still rolling, and it's going to be picked up by a Bobcat, and then falling down, A.J. Bryson recovers the onside kick, and Central will be able to run out the last minute and 18 of this football game. So Central will be 1-1 on the year. The Falcons will drop to 0-2 with Anderson County on the horizon. The Falcons will have lost 4 consecutive Battle of the Broadways. Central will be 1-1. And they will take on the West Rebels next week, who got walloped by Maryville today. For Central, they got West at home, then at Campbell County, Clinton, then 3 tough road games at Powell, at McMinn Central, at Halls. Then they close out at home against William Blount and Carnes. William Blount's got a pretty good team this year, it looks like. With the football carrying it for the Bobcats is going to be Woods. Jalen Woods runs to the left side, gets positive yardage, gains about 3 yards as we hit the 1 minute mark remaining in the football game. As we said, next week at Anderson County, in 2 weeks at Gatlinburg Pittman, before we're back home against Heritage on the 19th. Second down, 7. And Central's just going to take a knee right here. And so they'll probably wait to chop it in. Well, the clock has stopped. I think the intent was for Central not to have to snap it again, but it looks like they're going to have to. So one more snap for Gorley, and Central will get their first win of the season, as they pretty much dominated this one from the very start. The kickoff return by Badgett again kind of set the stage, as the Bobcats are going to win this one 48-19 as Gorley takes the knee. And another disappointing night here in Falcon country as Central wins over the Falcons by the final score 48-19. Central now 2-0 on the year, or excuse me, 1-1 on the year. The Falcons drop to 0-2. Just a long night at the office for this Fulton team.
Yep, for sure. Would like to see a lot better game for them.
Not a whole lot of fun. So congratulations to the Bobcats. They battled and they took it to the Falcons from the very start, and they get the win tonight 48-19.
Yeah.
We'll get a word from Coach Justin Long down on the sideline to wrap this one up, as the Falcons still looking for their first win of the season. There were a couple of bright spots, but
I feel like you limited the mistakes that you did, compared to last week. They look sharper, not perfect by any means, but some of the small, simple stuff, the jumping off sides, the missing alignments, kickoff return looked a lot better. So you're seeing progress, which I think is the silver lining here.
And now let's go to Josh down on the sideline with Coach Justin Long.
Coach Long, not exactly how you wanted this historic rival to go, but you have to admire the fight that was in this Fulton team.
Yeah, our guys got a lot of fight, and that's kind of who we are. That's kind of who we've always been. Some of our best teams had that type of fight. What this team has to do is have the right fight. Like, you got to be disciplined. You got to do things the right way, and that's when the plays come. You can't reinvent the wheel and try to make up things on the fly. You just got to be disciplined, man, and you got to do what your coach should do. Monday through Thursday has got to be really important for us coming up.
Talk a little bit about next week as we start region play next week with Anderson County.
I mean, everybody's good on our schedule, and we've got to close the gap. Every game is a big game. You know what I'm saying? So, we don't have a lot of time to feel sorry for ourselves, and we got to get ourselves ready to go for sure.
Coach Long, good luck next week, and go address your troops.
That's Coach Justin Long with Josh Nevius down on the sideline. Josh, thanks for a great job this evening.
Thanks, Russell. It's always fun to come back.
Josh Nevius on the sideline. We want to thank our WKCS crew for their support tonight. As on the camera tonight, we had Jeremy Perry, we had Jesus Flores, we had Riley Cox down on the sideline with us tonight, running the cameras for the broadcast. Chris Mays on the stats. And, of course, we've dealt with a lot of technical issues tonight. Nicholas Slagle trying to work through all of those throughout the evening to make all of this possible. Robert Sheffield back in the studios. Parker Hall by my side, as well as on the pregame and halftime shows, and the voices you heard throughout the broadcast with Manny McNish and Trace McCulley and Jack McCulley. For everyone here at WKCS Radio, until we talk to you again next week, final score 48-19. So long, everyone.